Hello, hello. So today I have the pleasure of doing a spades tutorial for everybody who's either been invited to the barbecue and you were a little timid to get on the table, or for those who don't mind jumping on the table but don't quite know how to be at their hand properly, and for those who want to take their game to the next level. I got something for everybody. Y'all make sure y'all stay tuned. So today we're going to be using these jumbo face playing cards. You can pick these up at your local Dollar General. They're only $1. I typically get a couple of packs. I keep one in the bag on standby because anytime I'm pulling up, I gotta have that deck of cards with me. Okay, so we're gonna start with the fundamentals. There's always gonna be 13 cards in each suit if you're playing ace high. Once you shuffle, the person to the right cuts the cards and you always deal to your left. If once you're done dealing the cards out, if you do not get the last card, then you have missed deal. Typically, that means the next person is now able to shuffle and you would be the person cutting and they would deal to the left. So one of the most important parts of spades is you're playing with a teammate. So the main thing is you want to make sure you're paying attention to what your teammate does. So your books count towards the same score. So sometimes it's very important to pay attention because your partner might need help and you might have to win a book to ensure that you guys actually get the books that you bid. So it's very important to pay attention to what's being played and what's going on at the table at all times. It is very important to pay attention to which suit your partner leads out to. And you're going to hear me say suit a lot. There's 4 suits in spades. You have the clubs, diamond, hearts, and the most important, which is
If you do not
spades.
have any of the
Spades is
suit
the
that was
suit.
led, then you have the option to play spades, and spades will win that book.
So something else that's very important, you have to remember what's been played. I understand that you're not going to remember all the cards that have been played, but 4 main cards you need to take note of, which is the ace, the king, the queen, and the jack. Those 4 cards you need to remember if they have been played or not. Or let's just say you have a king and you lead off with that suit and you say, well, I don't remember if the ace has been played. I think so. So you start off with a king and the person on the other team plays the ace. That's a book that more than likely you were counting to make, but you didn't remember if it had been played or not. So that is something that's very important because when you're playing with people who know how to be at their hand, that might be a book that you really needed. So please make mention of that. So a little trick that could help those who have a hard time remembering if the ace or king has been played, since the queen is third in line from the ace and the king, you would take this and put this third in line here. So once the ace is played, you will play this. Once the king is played, you will play this. And now you can remember if this is here, the ace and the king has been played. Since the king is the second on the list, you will put this down here in the back. So once the ace is played, you will play your 9. And now if you see that the 9 is gone in front of that, you know that the next time hearts come out, your king is the next to win. This doesn't matter because you only have 2. You have the ace and the king above that. But for here, this is second in line. You put this second
Go
in
ahead
line.
and play your 5.
The ace of diamond is played. And now, when the next diamond is played, you know nothing's behind it. Guaranteed book. It keeps you from wasting a book that you should win, because if you counted this king as a book and you didn't remember and you played it and the ace gets played on top, this could be the difference between you getting your books or you getting set, which means the opponent's team got their books and you did not. So if you bid 7 books and you only got 6, you go back negative 70. If you get 5 books, it's still negative 70. So if you bid 7 and they bid 6, that's 13 books. The board's locked up. 7 and 6 is 13. So if they get 1 extra book, which is 7, then their score would be 61 to your score, negative 70. So each book is worth 10 points. Something also that's very important to be mindful of, if you have, let's just say you got 6 of one suit. We're going to use hearts, for example. So you got the ace, the king, the queen, 7, 6, and a 5. There's only 7 more of that suit remaining. So if the person to your left has 4, person in front of you, which is your partner, has 2, and this person over here only has 1. So once you play that ace, he plays, they play, they play. If you play that king, they're going to play a spade, which is cutting the suit. And if you counted that as one of your books, now you could potentially be in trouble because you thought that book was going to make it and it didn't. So be mindful of how many cards you have in your suit. And I'll get more advanced in that in another tutorial, but just be mindful of that. Spades, which is the most important suit in the game, a rule that I've made several times in the past. When you're learning how to play, you might have a lot of spades, and you might be like, well, yeah, I'm gonna play my spade because I got the ace and I got the king, and I might have like a 2, a 3, and a 6. So I'm gonna play my ace thinking I'm about to pull something, and I'm gonna play my king thinking I'm about to pull something. And pull something means you're trying to take their spades. But what you're not realizing, your partner may have bid his hand based off of only having 1 card in the suit. So if you jump out there with spades, there's a chance that you could pull your partner's spades, which would stop them from getting a book.
Special
So
shout out to
never
everyone
lead
who's
out
made
with
it to the end of the
spades.
video. If you have any questions, comments, or anything you would have did differently, please feel free to drop them below in the comments. Make sure you tap that subscribe button if you have not, and stay tuned for part 2 coming soon.